Right, Pirate fans and surrounding areas. It's Wednesday, and that means it's podcast Wednesday for me. And right now, we're going to be talking Rockport Fulton Pirate basketball on the Keith Thompson weekly podcast. And on the screen, I have the head coach here for the Pirates. That's Coach Thompson. Coach, how you doing?
I'm good. And yourself?
Doing great, Coach. Thank you very much. I know it's been a long day. Got to get Coach in and out as quick as possible today so he can have some dinner. It's been a long day, and we definitely don't want to keep him any longer than we need to, but we definitely appreciate him spending a few minutes here with us to talk about his program. And, Coach, just got a few questions today for you, and let's just go ahead and start off with the game last night. I was out there, was able to live stream the game. I do want to tell the Pirate fans that the games that we do live stream they'll be up for about 24 hours after the game, and then we will be taking them down. So I just wanted to let you know in case what happened to the game this year, we are going to take them down for the girls and the boys. That's the arrangement that we made with Coach Thompson. That's the way he wanted it. So for reasons that maybe you guys can guess, they'll be on. So we do Tuesdays. They'll be on for about 24 hours. I'll be able to watch it, take my notes, and then it will come down from our pages. And so I just wanted to make sure that I let everyone know so when they don't see it there, they know what that it wasn't done, that we did that. But coach, let's get back over to last night's game. Not our best performance. Obviously, we were coming off of the Thanksgiving break where we took a 1 point loss to what I think was a pretty good team in Aransas Pass. Played really good, but we just didn't come out offensively. We really struggled. There was a lot of things that London was able to do. They were physical. They were just really physical, and they got rolling in the second half, and we just couldn't recover from that. But I'd like to get your thoughts on the game and what did you see from our team, the Pirates, and was this something that they were doing or something a mix of what they were doing and we just couldn't get going offensively?
I think it was a mix. I think um they took away, driving lanes really well. Um, we weren't able to use our size to our advantage like we normally are able to. Especially with this team. I know we talked about a little bit. We got a bigger team this year. Weren't able to use it. And then just the outside jump shot wasn't falling. I think it was 2-0 for about 4.5 minutes. So I thought we did our part on the defensive side. I know London was averaging about, 60 points a game. We held them to about 45, so 15 underneath their average. So I thought our defense was fine. It's just, a little mix of here and there. We got some great looks going back and looking at the film. Um, wide open threes just weren't dropping. When we did get to the rim, layups rolling in and out. So it just, like you said, it wasn't one of our best offensive performances, but, it happens. And I know that the boys will bounce back from it. They're strong, they're resilient, they're tough minded. So we'll get some shots up at practice and, live to shoot another day.
Yeah, and sometimes that happens, and you're right. Something I didn't think about, but the average, the amount of points that London is able to put up, and we were able to hold them defensively to what was it, 45 points, I think it was. We scored. We have a good offensive night, and we probably win that game, right? But for unfortunately, our defense was on and be able to hold them. Our offense just wasn't on, and that happens. Anybody that's been around the game of basketball, you have good nights, you have great nights where you just shoot it up and you can't miss. And then there's nights like last night where offensively we really struggled. But you're right, coach. The looks were there. We did get Roman was able to hit a couple. I saw Hudson King get an and one. There were some things that happened. We just weren't consistently able to hit those outside shots, and they really did take. I think taking the big guys out, not being able to go to the inside game, really did hurt us. They were able to do that, and that kind of doomed us in. But now, coach, we get ready to play tomorrow. We don't really have much time, right? So we look at the film, and then we got to get ready for a tournament. The Pirates will be traveling to Taft. We'll play in the Taft tournament. They'll have two games tomorrow. Thursday, I will not be able to be to the early one. They will be playing Edna at 1 or 1:30, but then they play Taft at 4:30. So I'm going to try to get out, get my stuff, get on down there to Taft to be able to stream that game, Rockport versus Taft. And then I'll let you guys know I am planning to go back there on Saturday and stream more games there for our Pirates. But, Coach, I think this is going to be great for us. We're due after the performance last night, right? We're due for a good game here, a couple of them. But looking at the teams that are in there, I don't know a lot about them, but I think we can be very competitive. your thoughts on the tournament and what do you want to see specifically, if there's anything from our Pirates to work on in this tournament?
Um, what do I think about the tournament? I think it's gonna be I think it'll be a good test to see where we're at. You know, we've been playing some really tough teams so far in our schedule, and it doesn't get much easier. But like you said, I think we can be really competitive in this tournament. I think we have a good shot as being successful and stringing together some wins. What I want to see from the Pirates, man, I want to see. It'd be nice to see some shots go in, if I'm being honest, but just executing the offense, being patient with each other, helping each other out, growing as a team. Defensively, talking more, communication, things like that. The guys that uh, don't really get in very much, being very vocal on the bench, talking to one another. I think it's important that culture's standpoint that we're setting is our motto is "We over me." So I think us really just going in for one another, and being happy for each other's successes, whether that means the starters losing minutes and getting, you know what I mean, getting some of the guys that don't play very much, those those things, and helping them understand that this is what we do in this certain situation and things like that. I I want to say more of growing together as a program, as a family, more than basketball itself, if that makes sense.
It does. It makes a lot of sense. And again, we'll be playing tomorrow. We'll be traveling up there. There's two games, so hopefully we can get and start the tournament 2-0. Taft's pretty good. I've seen a little bit about them. They can play, but I really think we can compete. I think last night was a combination of shots not going in, but we were getting the shots. We'll get back into our post game and hopefully we can make some noise here in this tournament. Definitely looking to string a couple of W's, like you said, Coach. And again, I won't be out there for the first game. It's about 1:30 where Rockport will play Edna. I won't be able to stream that one, but I'm gonna try to get out there before game time starts for that second game. It'll be at the Taft High School, I believe, is where we'll be playing Taft. Is that correct? The high school?
Yes, sir.
The high school, and then on Saturday we'll have other games. Now, one we played in high school, I believe I saw, and the other one will be at the junior high, but it's right there on the same campus. But definitely looking to stream the game for those that cannot make it. I know a lot of parents work. Definitely, if I can get out there on Saturday to be able to stream as many games as you can, definitely support the Pirates through the Pirates Cold Sports Network or live stream as well. Coach, let's talk about the other levels. I know that the freshmen won. I saw the comments from Coach Labo, and the freshmen were down big early, and it's nice to be able to see them fight back and win by 10, 12 points. So that was really nice. Special bunch of kids down there on that freshman team. Talk about their performance. What can you tell us about their game last night? And then the JV, did we win or lose?
Um, Start with the freshman first, man. I was happy for them to get their first win, and honestly, we're looking at it as them being 1-0 because a lot of those freshmen that played last night on the freshman team have been playing up and playing JV, and getting their butts kicked pretty good, and we're a little bit, I wouldn't say discouraged, but it's tough going against some older kids. But I told them it'll make a better for it, and they proved it last night. They were flying around. Love the energy that they play with, man. They get after it defensively. Um, Still trying to figure it out offensively, but a lot of their offense comes from what they can do on the defensive end. So that makes me excited to see that, especially with a group like that, because uh, we're very big on being active on defense and things like that. So I like to see it. And our JV did not win last night. They took a loss to London's JV. But a lot of those kids, again, coming from football, probably practice once or twice. So they're still trying to figure it out, man. And some of the guys that I had up at the varsity level got moved down to JV once the football guys came. So they're still trying to figure out their niche and their roles that they're playing in. And Coach Castillo does a heck of a job. So I know he'll have them whipped into shape in no time.
Absolutely. And that's what we wanted to do here on the podcast is continue to talk about the games, recap the games, and get coach's thoughts on what he's seen as the season goes. You'll be able to hear coach talk about the growth coach has talked about implementing a new system. So that's also on top of everything else, and still trying to adapt to basketball. Some of the football players are coming in. It's going to take a couple of practices here to get going. But also, let's not forget what coach has said also about implementing a new system. That's also part of this as well, where he's now starting to put his system in place this year. And of course, it takes time for a lot of these players to understand what their roles are in Coach Thompson's new system. So a lot still to learn. But you're right, Coach. Given that energy, I think what I read from the freshmen, being able to be down that many and not giving up, right? Just thinking, oh, it's not going to be our night. We're just going to go ahead and let it roll. These guys fight back. I think that's the one thing that you want to see as a coach. You started off, you're down big, but you didn't give up. You continued to play. What coaches are teaching, they're doing, and they were able to fight themselves right back into a game, and not only win by a point, but win by 12. That
Yeah.
says a lot about that team. So that's great. I'll look at it like you said too, Coach. We're 1-0. That's a freshman team. Let's see if we can string a few more wins. Actually, more than a few more wins. So we'll definitely be talking more about the freshmen, and then Coach. The middle school. I'm not sure if they played during the Thanksgiving break, but what can you tell us what's going down on at the middle school?
They did not play over the Thanksgiving break, but they do play tomorrow, I believe. It's gonna be away. I have to check the schedule to make sure. I don't want to call out any false information, but the middle school boys do play away tomorrow. So, if you're watching this, make sure that you can go and support. I know the schedule's out floating around, so a lot of good things happening down there too. So I'm excited to see what they can do.
Absolutely. And with Coach Gonzalez coming on before you, the girls will be playing at home, the boys. So also just like Coach, I was telling Coach Gonzalez, it's every time I go to the gym for a basketball, volleyball game, our side is full. It's rare that you see it being empty. It's always full. That's why I sit on the visitor side, because I like to be able to show the Rockport crowd. And it's great. And we always have a good crowd out there. And just like we do out there for varsity, the middle school just as important. That's our future. So that's why we want to get down there to that level and be able to stream some games, talk to the coaches down there, see what's going on, see what they're doing, talk a little bit about our players. Remember, the middle school is our future. They'll be up on varsity here in a couple of years. So we definitely want to pay attention and recognize those players that are working hard, that are our future Pirates. So they're just as important as our sub varsity and our varsity. So when they get home, coach definitely want to go out there and catch some of those games as well. And so safe travels to Taft tomorrow, and I'll see you out there for that 4:30 game. I won't try to get out there. So if it starts and I'm a little late, it's because I'm getting off to work. I got to get back to the house, pick up my stuff, and then head on over there. But I think I can make it in time before game time starts at 4:30. So if you can't make it out to Taft for the 4:30 game, definitely support our Pirates through the live stream here on the Pirates Cove Sports Network. Coach, we wanted to start something new with Coach today, and that's talking about the players. We're really kind of focusing more on the players this year than we did last year. Each player on varsity, and that we can do that throughout the season and have Coach specifically every podcast talk about one of his players and talk not only about what we see on the court when we go out and see them, but Coach sees a lot of the other stuff, the off season, the work that they put in to get better for the next season for those underclassmen. What do they do? What kind of teammate leader are they? What do they do in the classroom, out in the community? Anything that Coach Thompson can see that he can tell us that ordinarily a fan would not see outside of what a coach and mom and dad see. Today, we want to focus on a 4-year varsity player, Roman Cox. He's great. You heard Coach talk on one of his podcasts. He was already averaging about 23 points a game. That's what's expected of him. There's a lot people have watched him. A lot is expected of what he can do. He's a great basketball player, works hard. But Coach, what else can you tell us for the average fan who doesn't really know Roman and doesn't see but what he sees on the court? What can you tell us about your player?
One thing I'll tell you about Roman is kind of to touch on the point about you saying a hard worker, man. Um, that he's a gym rat. He stays in the gym. He's texting me constantly during the summer. Hey, coach, can you open the gym? Um, you know, trying to get me up there so that he can get on the gun or he can get on the Vertimax or whatever, he'll go and specifically spend an hour of his day in the gym, and he can go by himself. He's one of those guys that doesn't need a company. Um, so excuse me, love that mindset about Roman. And he's a guy who just wants to play basketball. AAU. Anytime he can get his hand on the basketball, you might see him at the local church in Rockport playing. He loves to go. He is, I would say, a leader. He gets on to the guys when they're goofing around and he feels like it's time to get serious. He's not afraid to speak up or hurt feelings, which I think you need in a leader at times. Great kid to be around. Respectful, yes sir, no sir, things like that. Accountable, responsible. One of those kids that sets his alarm and he gets up on his own. He doesn't have to be woken up by mom and dad. Um, so just pretty much everything you want in the leader of your program. You know what I mean? Accountability when he's wrong. Yes, sir, I'm wrong. Whatever it is, takes the punishment on the chin, doesn't talk back, things like that. So it really doesn't get any much better than Roman Cox, in my opinion.
And that's where it starts. And kudos to mom and dad, right? Because when you inherit a player like that, that's already a leader, that already takes accountability, that when you ask him to do something, he does it without, responding back or making an excuse. Yes, sir, I'll do it. Whatever that comes from home. That started when he was a kid, and kudos to mom and dad, because when you see a player like that, and you hear a coach talk about that, it starts at home, and great role models, and they held him accountable, and that's what you see now when he comes up and you get him at the high school level is he already knew right from wrong, and it's important when we do these podcasts to talk about these players, not only what you see on the basket, because a lot of times you just see it and you get excited about, I can score 23 points a game, or I can do 15, or I can do this. There's so much more to the player than just basketball, right? What they do around the school, teammate, leadership, community. There's just so much more. And that's why this year we wanted to focus with our coaches to be able to really get into talking about the players and what they see. But definitely it's been fun having him for 4 years. I hope he has he's off to a great start, coach, but definitely this will be the last year. There won't be a Roman Cox next year. Unfortunately, it's not like the NBA. They've got to graduate and move on, but we'll enjoy it. The season is still very young and we still got a lot of games. So if you get an opportunity, definitely come on out. Check out the Pirates. It's not just Roman Cox, but he's got some great players, teammates. This team is great. They got some size this year. I didn't know. I thought Broder, but I saw you got some size up in there. You got some speed. And like I said, we've got a tournament coming up here tomorrow, and I think we can be very competitive and definitely get some W's. If not win it all, coach. I mean, that's what I think we can possibly do. We'll see what happens. But again, come on out to Taft. If you can't, I'll be out there for the 4:30 game tomorrow, and you can check it out on the Pirates Cove Sports Network. Coach, thank you very much for taking some time to come out and talk about your player, Roman Cox. I'll definitely have another player for Coach next week. And Coach, I promise I'll text you a couple of days before so you'll know it's coming. This time I caught Coach off guard. But of course, he knows Roman, so it wasn't too hard for him to talk about his player. Coach, I'll give you the final thoughts and then we'll get you out here to be able to relax a little bit, have some dinner and family time. Anything you want to add before we call it a night?
Just if you can come support us tomorrow. I know the boys they appreciate it. And just try to see as much Pirate basketball as you can because, like you said, they got to graduate and move on. So some of these guys, it'll be the last year that you get to watch them.
Definitely come on out. And look, I told Coach Gonzalez, don't you just love Coach Hustle's music? I mean, like the other gyms, man, and Hustle really jams. He puts on some. I was down on the other side. There was some London fans, and there was some other fans, I think, from George West out there. And so when he's playing this music, right, you're hearing people next to me. They're dancing, and these are older people, right? They're dancing, they're singing along with the song, they're loving that 80s music that Coach Hustle plays. And so not only will you get to see a good basketball game, but you get to enjoy that music that Coach Hustle plays, man. He plays some really darn good music, man. I like it. So every time I go out there, you can enjoy the music, the home game. That's just you can only get it there at the competition gym in Rockport. DJ, Coach Hustle. I like Coach. He's a great, great guy. Also, for people that don't know, man, he knows music. He's got a little bit of talent there. You can get out there. I've seen him sing a few songs. He's got some talent. So definitely come on out there, watch the Pirates, and listen to some good music during halftime or during some timeouts. It's really great, great atmosphere to be out there. But tomorrow and through the weekend, we will be in Taft. So definitely go out there. If not, support them through the Pirates Cove Sports Network. Coach, thank you very much. Relax a little bit. I know you got to get back up early and you got a long day. Appreciate your time. And we'll talk to you next Wednesday.
Yes, sir. See you then.
Here, Coach. Good luck.